Hi everyone, it's Rachel from A.I.D. I'm just going to do a short video today on how to join a Zoom call and then go through some of the features. As you know, we've been using Zoom for a couple of months now to offer some training sessions for you during lockdown, and those will be continuing for a little bit longer. So I want to make sure that everyone knows how to use Zoom and that Zoom isn't a reason that people aren't joining in with the sessions. So if you've not used Zoom before, hopefully this will make you a bit more familiar with the software. And if at any point you have any questions on how to use Zoom, please do get in touch with me with my Dog.Aid email, so rachel.rogers@dogaid.org.uk. I know there were a couple of people who were anxious about using Zoom at the start of lockdown when there were some bad reviews in the press about Zoom's security features. I just want to take this opportunity to let you know that Zoom have improved those dramatically recently, and they now have much better encryption software in them. So there shouldn't be any problems. So if that was putting you off joining a Zoom call, please do know that they have updated it and hopefully it shouldn't be a problem moving forward. So Zoom is an app that you can get on your computer, tablet or phone. And to do that, you can just type in Zoom either in your app store or just on Google, and it'll take you to the right website. It's got a blue logo, which you'll see in a minute, and you'll need your email address to sign up. So I've already made my account and I've run out of email addresses to make any more Zoom accounts. So for that, if you have any problems at all, please do get in touch. But hopefully it's nice and self-explanatory for you. You just need to type in your email address and then it will send you a link to verify your email. Just click the link in the email they send you and you should be all registered and ready to join a call, which is what we're going to do today. So I'm just going to get rid of this and bring up my Zoom software. Okay, so when we're looking for Zoom, we want to look for the blue Zoom icon and we'll click on that. So this is what your home page should look like. And because I've got other meetings booked in the day, they will appear here, okay? These are the 4 options that you want to pay the most attention to. What we don't want to do right now is we're not going to schedule a meeting for the future and we're not going to go live in a brand new meeting. We're looking to join a meeting which has been sent to us via email. So that's what I'll be doing if you're joining in any of the Dog.Aid training sessions that we're putting on for clients at the minute. You'll get sent an email probably a week in advance telling you of the topic. And if you want to join in, you can reply to me and I'll send you the login details, which will come to you in an email that look like this. Okay, so you get the topic, the time and the date of the session, and then the link to join, or a meeting ID and a password. And they're the options I tend to use to join a meeting just because I find them a bit easier. So when you want to join a meeting, so on the day and the time when your session is scheduled, open your Zoom app and click the join button. This will then bring up a join meeting box. And what you need to put into the first box here is your meeting ID. So we can copy that and we can pop in our meeting ID. Well, underneath here, we've got our options to put our name. So obviously I've got my name there. You would be able to change that. Please do, because sometimes in some of the calls, I've had things like mum's iPad. It's really helpful if, as the host of the meeting, we can see who you are. So if you could pop that as your name, by all means put your dog's name in as well. So I could be Rachel and Rico. But for the purpose of today, I'm just going to have my full name. And then you've got these options here, and these are for if you want to join with or without your video on. And in just a minute, I want you to be able to see who I am. So I'm going to leave my video on. But if I didn't want anyone to see me, if I was feeling a bit shy, I can click this box here and my video won't join in on the call. But I want you guys to see me in just a second, so I'm going to leave my video active. So once you've popped your meeting ID in, you just click the blue button for join the call. And then it's asking me for the meeting password. So if I went back to my email, we can see the password over here and we can just copy that and paste it in here, or you can just type it in, have it on one screen and just go back across, put in the 5, the T, the K, whatever the letters are. And once that's in, we're just going to click Join Meeting. And it's brought up Stitch here, who's in the call, and mine has put it as just my profile picture for now. So if that happens and you do want people to see your video, all you're going to do is click Start Video. And there we are. So you can see me now. And what I've got is, for my background, because I knew I was having a call with Stitch, I've uploaded a digital background, which I'll show you how to do in just a minute. And that's just so you can hide kind of where you are if you don't want people to see your house or anything like that. So I knew it was Stitch I was seeing today, thought he might smile if he could see a picture of me and him from when we met in Disney World. So I've just put that as my background. So I'll just go through really quickly for you now some of the features that you might want to get to know when you're on Zoom, if you want to join in any of our calls. But this was the most important bit, was just getting to be in the call with the other person. So Stitch is my host today, and there's only me and him in this call. So if at any point during the call, say my dog started to bark, or I don't know, maybe my phone rang and I didn't want everybody to hear that, I can just go over here and there's a little microphone button and you can see it's lighting up in green, and that's because it's picking up on the sound of me talking to you now. But if I didn't want people to be able to hear my dogs barking or whatever the background noise is, I can just click that and mute myself. And that's what I've done to Stitches at the minute, because Stitch would just be hearing my voice again and it would be thoroughly confusing. So as he can't speak, I've just muted him for this session. The other thing you can do is, if you're doing this at home, maybe you've got family or friends or children who live with you who have a tendency to wander around in the background. If you need to stop your video at any point, you can just go over to this button here and just click that, and it would stop your video and bring up a profile picture if you've got one, or just an empty box if you haven't. So if you don't want to be on video, that's absolutely fine. I've just got mine set as a picture of me and my dog Rico, but we'll carry on having a bit of video for now. So some of the other things that show on your screen when you're in a call is there's an option called participants. And if you click on that, you get to see who's in the call. So as we know, there's only me, Rachel Rogers, and then Stitch, the host, who's got a lovely profile picture of himself. And it does say next to his name there in brackets host, and that just means sometimes he has a little bit of control in the meeting, so he could potentially mute everybody in the call, or he might be able to end the call or start recording the call and things. He'll have options to do that for everybody, whereas I only have the options to do it for me, as I'm just a guest in the call. So that's quite nice, because you can see who's in. If you needed to and someone had forgotten to join the call, I don't know, maybe we wanted to invite Simba from The Lion King, I could click invite and I'd be able to get Simba in the call as well. But I can also use this feature here called raise hand, and that's really helpful. So if you're in a call and you don't want to talk over the host, maybe they're doing a presentation or showing a video to everybody in the group, and you want to ask them a question, if you click the raise hand button, you can see a little blue hand has appeared up here. And that just lets the host know that you've got a question. So that can be really helpful if you don't want to sit waving at your screen or you don't want to talk over people. And if the host then, say, goes on to answer that question just in what they're saying, and you think, oh, whoops, I don't need to ask it anymore, you can just click to lower the hand and the blue hand would disappear. So that's solved. Okay, so another option that we've got is the chat function. And when you click on chat, you get a box that appears here called the Zoom group chat. When you type into this, there's a 2-bit here, and at the minute you can see it's sending to everyone. So anything I type in this box would go to all of the Zoom participants in that call. So if I was having a problem with the sound, I could say in that box, I can't hear you, and everyone would be able to see that message. If, however, I wanted to ask the host a question and I didn't want everybody else to see it, I can click on this button here and I'll get a list of everybody in the call. So if I wanted to send Stitch a message on his own, I could just put, can I ask a question, please? And you'll notice it's come up with, in brackets, read privately. And that means it's only going to show on Stitch's computer. It wouldn't show on anybody else's screen. So that's quite handy if you're, the first time you're on Zoom, maybe you've got something you need to say to just one person. Maybe you need to leave the call. So you could say to Stitch, I have to go, sorry, and send him that message. And that would pop up just on his screen. So he would know you've not had a computer issue and just kind of dropped off the internet. He would know you've been a bit busy this afternoon or you've had to go and answer the door. Whatever it is, you can just pop him a message privately and then he would know that you weren't coming back for the rest of the session. Some of the other options that we've got are things like screen share. So if you were to click screen share and you get this message, host disabled participant screen sharing, that's sometimes what I would do in a meeting if I only wanted myself as the host to be able to share a video with you. If you're coming to one of the video analysis sessions, that would be set up so that you could share your screen. So you would just click the green screen share button and it would then give you the option to show everybody what was on your screen. So you could then say, close your Zoom down, and you'd be able to show people what was on your main computer screen. Okay. Other options here, so record screen. We've been doing that in the sessions at Dog.A.I.D so that we can then play the videos back to people who've missed them. So anybody who was in the bucket game session last week, I let them know I was going to record the session, and then I was able to send a link to that session for the people who were unable to attend the session live. So that's helpful. And then the last one we've got is the reactions button. So if the host says something you really like, you can give it a little round of applause and that appears up here. Or you can give them a thumbs up for something they've done that you liked as well. And that's just a little fun feature that you might want to get involved with. Before we finish this little video today, the last couple of things to look at are up here is the timer, and that's quite good so you can just keep an eye on how long the call is. Because if there's 3 or more of you in your Zoom call, you'll probably find that you've only got a 40-minute free limit. And that just helps you to keep an eye on how long the session's been so you don't run over time and it just ends the call. And you've also got speaker view or gallery view. So it'll say one of the two up there. This is gallery view at the minute, which is where you can see everybody who's in the call. So when we've got, say, 10 clients in our training sessions, you'd be able to see all 10 people on that call. If I was to click this now, what it does is it highlights the screen of the person who's talking at the time. So that's quite helpful if you want to be able to kind of focus on the person who's delivering, say, a presentation or a video. But I quite like to be able to see everybody that I'm talking to. So I tend to have it on gallery view here. Okay, so if we wanted to finish our meeting or we needed to go, we just go over to this leave button here. So we'll leave Stitch for today. He's been very helpful in running this Zoom call for us. And we just click leave and we can leave the meeting. So bye, Stitch. And we would close that and that would be that finished. So just at the end of this video today, I said I would show you how to do the virtual background in case that's one you wanted to do. So if you go onto your home page for Zoom here, you've got a little kind of button here that says settings. If you click on that, you get a load of options and you don't need to worry too much about those. But the one here called virtual background, you can click on that one there. And these are the options that you can choose. So that's the one most familiar for you guys in my calls. I tend to have a Dog.A.I.D background, but you can choose to have anything. So if you wanted to add your own, you would just click the plus button and add an image from your computer. And I was using the one of Stitch today. Hopefully that's shown you quite a few features of Zoom and you'll be able to join us for some more of our Dog.A.I.D training sessions in the future. But if you have any questions, please do get in touch.